Welcome back. It is Friday once again, and we are on the Loyalty and Friends Self Love Podcast. And what better love than loving yourself, right? So, I want to make sure we always are intentional. Give yourselves a good hug today. I love myself, so I'm going to always make sure I incorporate that self love. But tonight, we have a special guest. My brother EA is in the building. And we want to talk about his journal that recently came out called Affirmations for Recovery. So we did do part one of this interview on Instagram. I would encourage you all go tap in just to kind of get a brief synopsis of what Affirmations for Recovery is about. But we'll give y'all a little bit here, and then we're gonna dive right on into part two of this interview, in which we're gonna talk about his childhood and some of the trauma he maybe experienced that even drove him to now become a mental health substance abuse counselor and now an author as well. So with that being said, I want to give you an opportunity, EA, just to say hey to the folks and introduce yourself.
Well, it's EA. Stands for Eric Allen. That's the government. That's actually the government. But I chose years ago, like maybe a couple decades ago, to just keep it simple. EA. That's me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as you all know or don't know, Affirmations for Recovery, the journal, is really a book that's really set to help people through their recovery phase, whether it's drug abuse, whether you're recovering from a loss of someone, any type of recovery. And as we know, affirmations are very important and they're very powerful. It teaches us how to speak to ourselves and, change the narrative to spread more positive talk with yourself. Okay. Because self talk is very important. And the words that you say can be detrimental to how you move forward. So I'm very intentional with that. And I'm very cautious with the words that I choose to use because of that in particular, because words do have power whether you want to believe it or not. And if you believe in the good words that you speak to yourself, then you can manifest anything. Okay. I'm a true believer in that. So thank you so much just for being obedient to your
Oh,
mission that God put on your heart to manifest and now have your journal out, Affirmations for Recovery. So I want to kind of dive into the conversation. Let's talk about your childhood a bit, because I know a lot of times the things we went through as a child have an effect on how we come into our adult lives. So can you think of any trauma that you maybe experienced? You don't have to go
yeah,
detail, but just to
of
kind of give
course.
us some information about what you experienced and what even led you to become a mental health substance abuse counselor.
I think that like we talked about on the IG version, right? I think I love your questions because they're loaded. Like you have like five different questions in one, right? So I'm gonna do my best to take a bite, one bite at a time. That's my goal. I'm gonna just tell the audience that if you got more questions, maybe hit me up. You know what I mean? But for me, trauma was generational. It came like before me. So I was born into it. I was born into what my mother and my father experienced. I had to um, continue that part of the journey. If that makes sense. I hope that's not too deep. So with that, I experienced drug abuse. I experienced sex abuse. I mean, I experienced every abuse you can name of, physical, mental. I've been through it all, and what led me to be to enter the space was at some point when I sought help, there was nobody there. So, what they say, you gotta if you can't beat them, you join them. You're something like that. So that's what I did. I had a couple things happen to me, like I had a couple jail sentences, and through jail sentences, I started really like opening my eyes, like what's going on here, right? Started doing studying, went to school, and one thing led to another, and here I am, with a few licenses later.
Absolutely. And I think that's beautiful because sometimes we have to go through a situation in order to lead others. And when you experience it on both ends, where you were once the victim, but now you're actually helping those who have been victimized or and who are attempting to overcome their situation. It changes the narrative. So me personally, if I'm going to seek help, I'd rather seek it for someone who I know have experience and went through some similar things that I actually am also dealing with in order to get the help that I truly need. So
Well, just to be transparent, not only was I victimized, but I did some victimizing, just to be honest. And at the times, it felt like it was like the normal. It wasn't like I didn't understand it until you get to an age. Everybody gets to a certain level in life, and you start really looking back and like, you know what, that wasn't right. You know what I mean? So I so that's part of what also I joined the recovery team for, because I always wanted to be the change that I wanted to see, and I wanted to put the work in to the community and to the community and abroad that I once contributed destroying. I want to be instrumental in rebuilding that. You know?
absolutely. And I truly believe that change behavior is the best apology anybody can give. You can say you're sorry till you blue in the face, but if you continuously saying I'm sorry, but you continue to do the same, behavior, then what is a real apology? So change
Right.
behavior is the best apology that anyone can offer at someone.
True.
So I would, encourage you all the same thing, change the behavior, then that right there is gonna speak for itself.
And it's tough.
So
It's tough. Journaling actually helps. Journaling is so therapeutic. That's where, a part of my change process came through, being incarcerated and having just me to myself and being able to write what's going on in my brain and sitting it right there and coming back to it and being able to reflect it, process it. All these words, I'm telling you, when you learn how to do them correctly, that's when your healing really begins.
absolutely. And I think the beauty in this is, for one, you're a male, you're a black man, okay? And a lot of times we know in our houses, we were always taught that one rule, which I think damaged a lot of communities and a lot of people as a whole. What happens in your home stays in the home.
Yes.
And that's just something I don't believe in. I believe, when you're going through something, even if it's within the home, you got to speak about it in order to get through that healing
Well,
process.
I can play the devil's advocate, right? I can definitely it definitely makes sense, especially at a young age. You gotta program that. I do believe there's a certain level of what happens in the home stays in the home. That's just something that we deal with within the home. We don't take that out and let because the community ain't gonna help nothing. I mean, like it be take it to somebody that can do something about it, of course. If it's something that detrimental, there's nothing safe. You know what I mean? But I'm saying there's certain things that are supposed to be dealt with at home. I'm a
Yeah,
firm
I guess
believer.
I feel like it depends on the level of what you're dealing with.
Right.
If
Right.
it's some abusive behavior, certain things you just should not just keep.
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know?
Any abuse on any level should not be dealt with in the home. That obviously, if it's happening in the home, then you need to go out and get some help. So yes, yes. But I'm saying there's just certain things, and you just got to be careful what you say and how you say it. Sometimes it gets, words have so much power. Like, and I don't want to change that narrative. I still believe that what happens in the home definitely stays in the home, of course, with the exception of being abused. I mean, I don't want nobody to be abused. I think that's crazy. Go get some help today, to now.
Right. Now, another, I would say thing that a lot of people do, especially men, because you're taught to be strong and you have to, wear so many levels and you can't show any signs of weakness, or that's considered like cowardly. So
Right.
sometimes men don't even express their feelings and their true feelings and their emotions, and they kind of get stuck in that. So I believe, as we've been saying over years, there's been an increase of a lot of things, suicide,
Yes.
quite a bit.
Yes.
So can you speak on that a bit? Just
Yes.
from
Yes.
your
I study
experience.
people. I got my degree in sociology, Portland State, 2020, right in the heart of the pandemic. Right when I went to school and got the degree, the bachelor's. I'm chasing my master's, and I currently, I operate in the counseling space, in the recovery space. I do some other work. I'm a community guy. I'm a community activist guy. So, to answer your question, the work is never done. the work, I'm always going to do this work. I think it started generations ago, and it's going to take generations to get a hold of, to get a grasp on. You know what I'm saying? So there's really no, I don't do the work expecting things to change today or tomorrow. I really believe that it's going to take a while. I'm not studying that part of it. I'm ready. I'm spending my time doing the work. So that's, I hope that answered the question. If not, rephrase it and I'll answer it a different way.
I mean, no, I definitely agree. You know, sometimes though, it's easier said than done. You have to, for one, acknowledge what the issue is. If
True.
you're not aware of what your issue is, and it just become like a repeated pattern in you, that we kind of normalize what shouldn't be normalized, if that makes sense, right?
Right. Right. But normalizing, that goes to what we are brought into, how we live, what we're taught. So that part is still going to be what it be. Like, just because I'm a mental health counselor, I don't expect, to change people's, how they were brought in. My whole goal with this whole thing is to give people tools to use, because you're not gonna fix people. People are not. This is not what's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Healing comes with learning how to, you know, process your emotions, how to deal with your triggers, how to, tools, get a healthy toolbox, journaling, just to turn it all the way back to how we started. Journaling is a powerful tool, and affirmations for recovery, they both go hand in hand. It's so powerful. And the trifecta with it is the cohort that I started, which I go live every day. I'm on my third month that I sit with the people that's bought the book, that's purchased the book, and people that's interested in it. I mean, you don't have to purchase the book to watch what I'm saying, but I give you a word of the day, right? And it's formulated on what the journal is talking about. I'm going in, and my goal is just to work with the people that understand where I'm going, and then we're gonna build our own community, and we're gonna take over the world.
Right. And I agree, yeah, they may not have to purchase the journal per
Right.
se, but when you purchase that journal, okay, it's gonna do a few things for you, right? For one, you got your own tangible thing that you can actually write down your experience. And
Yeah.
now you can go back and look at this and say, okay, this is what I went through, as more like a reflection, because it only takes 30 days to change any behavior, as we know, right?
21 to 30 days.
Right. So I encourage you all to purchase it and be intentional, because now you got the affirmations. You can go back and look at those and practice them in your daily lives. And then you're going to put your experience and, like, what does that affirmation mean to you? Write that in words. And
Yeah.
now you can go back and do the homework. You maybe was in a damaged place at the time, right?
Yes.
Right. So
Not,
now
it's
you're
not a
going to
quick
see.
fix. It's no quick
Absolutely.
fixes. It's no quick fixes to recovery. You have to do the work. So this is one of those things. Like, that's why I strongly encourage the people, give it a try. It's not gonna make sense the first day you do it. To them strong, hardcore people that believe, man, I don't believe in change. You know what I'm saying? To those believers that don't believe in change, give me a try. Trust me, just trust me. Ride with me for a minute. Partake in what's going on. You have to, first of all, believe that you can do it. If you don't believe that you can do it, then shit, we got a different fight on our hands. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm
So
saying?
I want to find out, like, what's next. Okay, you came out with affirmations for a recovery journal that's out, and
Yep.
it's out on the market. You can purchase it on Amazon exclusively.
Yes.
So what's the next step? Like, what's your next thing?
More recovery tools. More recovery tools. I got an actual book that I'm working on. It's called King of the Bums.
Mm,
Bums is an acronym for
okay.
broken, underserved, marginalized species. And that's what I feel like. I've been the king of those people my whole career, my whole life, my whole existence. So I got a story to tell. It's going to include some of my story, and then I put some fiction in there just to keep it entertaining. But most of it, I say 99% of it is my journey.
I love that. I love that. And there's power in story, as we know, which is why I do what I do here. Give others opportunity to kind of tell their narrative so people can get to know them more on a personal level. And that's how you get your support. So I want to encourage you all, if you want to be a guest here on the Loyalty and Friends Self Love podcast, make sure you tap in. I did put the website there. You can go to the link on my bio on my Instagram page, which is Loyalty in Everything, no slang, okay? So spell out the words.
Yes.
Loyalty, I is in India, N is in Nancy, everything, okay? And before we get up out of here, I want to find out, like, how can they support you? What's the best way to get support, and where can they follow you at?
Showing up is the best support you can give anybody. I'm going to say that again. Showing up. Showing up. When somebody says something on their live, when they say whatever, they ask you to do something, do it. Share it. Leave a review, comment. It's really easy. That's the best way to support, me and the people around me. If you see my people doing something, man, if it got my name on it, if it got the family name on it, I need you to share it at least once or twice, 3 times a lady type. You know what I'm saying? There's power in consistency. And how you can follow me, EA the Genius. That's the best way. That's the number 2 platform that I use. Number 1 is Al, and that's why I'm in my gear right now, because Al is a new platform for the working entrepreneur that I'm a brand ambassador. I'm so honored to be a part of. It's growing, and if you want to really make, boost your career, boost your entrepreneurship, you need to hop on Al today and use the referral code EA. Or you can use my sister's right here. She has one too, Loyalty. You can, whatever team you work, just get on the app today. I'm telling you, trust me, it's a game changer. That is the best, fastest way to connect with me. If you want to see me, if you want to get me on your podcast, man, you got to download the app. You got to, do what you got to do to get to me. That's the best way. Okay.
Absolutely. And I second that motion. You all download the OWL app, and that's
Yes.
OWLL. If you're confused at the spelling, it is OWL, okay? 2 W's, 2 L's. And yes, we are on there. We're actually taking one-on-one calls as experts. So if you want to
Yes.
have that one-on-one conversation with EA or even myself, we could talk about you being featured on the podcast. Who knows? Use his referral code EA, or you can use Loyalty, okay? Those are our referral codes, and that's going to start you with a $10 bonus, okay? Where
Yes.
it is effortless to be able to connect with others. And you can also get on there and get monetized as an expert if you have a business of your own that you want to get more traction to. So with that being said, you all, we're going to, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hopefully you all can join us on Clubhouse. If you don't have Clubhouse, download it and come to
Yes.
Loyalty and Friends House on Clubhouse and engage, man. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. It will be a Q&A call, okay? So that means you all can join the stage. You don't have to be seen, but you would definitely be heard if you would like to, or you can just sit in the audience and listen, okay? But we want to come in, be able to talk to our brother, ask any questions that you might have, and let's support, okay? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right here on the YouTube channel. We want to get these followers up so we can have a bigger community to truly, put this information out here and spread the positivity and love and support one another. So thank you so much, EA. I appreciate you so much. We're going to take that brief intermission and start it back up at 8 p.m. on
Yes.
Clubhouse.
Let's do
All
it.
right. Any last words, brother?
Man, shout out to my brother LP, man, for being here, helping out, man. Everybody's in their own world right now, getting it, making things happen. So it's always nice to be able to depend on somebody, even if you don't speak to them when it's time to go to work. It's time, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, LP. And brother, this is on the beginning. He has his own podcast as well, which is I want to say Trigger
Good
Warning.
warning.
Yeah, Trigger Warning Podcast. He
Yes.
is streaming on all social media platforms. So yes, indeed, I would strongly recommend that you also connect with our brother. And let's get into it, man. These podcasts are growing and a great way to get your message out there. So until next time, you all, I hope you all have a fabulous Friday. And thank you so much, because you could have been anywhere, but you're here with us. So we don't take that lightly. See you on Clubhouse at 8 p.m. Later.